Hi, it's Christiane. Wow, as soon as I click record, it gets so much darker. I had so much more lighting earlier. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my tarot reading. It is the full moon tonight, and I probably should have prepared a little bit better I don't know, for some reason, like in my intuitive inclination, it was to wait until it's dark out because it's about the moon. But I probably could have done this at any point during the day, so maybe it would have given you guys a little more update on what we're talking about, but that's okay. Um, so what I wanted to do, I think this is the first. I do have a bunch of tarot readings, but I think this is the first full moon one that I'm doing. And my direction with this is to show what the energy is of the next month. So basically, essentially all of August. I'm doing this August 3rd, which is the Aquarius new moon, which I'm a lunar Aquarian. I don't know, not positive what a lot of that means. Not positive how I feel about it either yet. But one thing that I do feel well about and I do believe in is tarot. And I think that a lot of people I talk to about this, about, what is tarot? Tarot is essentially a mirror into our subconscious. Like, you have Carl Jung's archetypes and these internal lenses that we see certain things, and for all of humanity, or for most of humanity, they represent certain things inside of us. There's just things that we resonate with on all levels, and we're still trying to figure out why we do that and how somehow we fucking share it across all the land of all people. But some of it's also just cultural. So either way, with that being said, what I'm going to do is I just want to pull some cards focusing on what the next month is going to be like. On my podcast, Perceptionist Anonymous, we do what's it called, our little moonisodes, and they're cool little short films on what is going on astrologically. We have a girlfriend of ours named Crystal Lynn Vidovich, who calls in from Pennsylvania, and she's got a lot to say, and we really trust her opinion and trust her insight. So feel free to go ahead and listen in to one of those, because it talks a lot about what's going on with the moon, all of the astrology right now, and essentially, I don't know if you guys feel it, but I know that there's been a shift in the energy in my life or so. Like, there's been this such heavy kind of pent-up momentum, a pent-up friction of energy in my life and other people's lives, and I felt like, over the last couple days, it's finally starting to make some headway. I don't feel so heavy, but I also I'm setting stronger boundaries, and I'm also choosing to, I'm tired of worrying about things. And I'm kind of just being really honest. And I'm going to do a video about honesty as well. You can tell I'm honest you can tell I'm being more honest because look how serious I got. Look how dark my hair is. You guys remember my last video? It was all blonde. I'm a natural blonde, and I've been trying to keep up with it, and every time I do it, I get bored after like 4 months. I'm like, all right, guess I'm gonna try a different color of dark. Anyway, so two cards have already kind of, this card too. Two cards have already kind of pulled themselves out. When I was younger and I started doing tarot, I was really, really focused on, doing everything so specifically. And I would always like put my deck down and separate it into 3 parts, and then build those parts back together, and then I would just flip from the top. And I found that feels, though I thought that was right, because I thought that that's what I was supposed to think was right, as I get older, and as I have practiced more, and this goes along with my spiritual practice as well, that I don't have necessarily a consistent way of doing something. I do things based on my intuition, and that changes sometimes. So how I pull my cards is I'll often actually spread them out, and then I'll pull whatever ones I feel very like magnetized to. But in this case, these kind of told me they wanted to come out. That's weird. I mean, I can be a little woo-woo, but I do try and kind of bring structure into my spirituality. I don't just fucking believe anything. I don't. And I recommend that you don't just believe anything either. And I recommend that you be weary of people that just string a bunch of words together to say something, you know what I mean, or that doesn't mean anything really, or they're like, oh, you're just not doing well spiritually, you'll get it later, like, you're not supposed to not like anything, or, whatever they say. I don't mean to be criticizing, but just part of something new I'm trying. Anyway, cool, so let's see. So for the next month, we pulled the 7 of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. The 7 of Pentacles is not a a person card, but it kind of looks like it. So here is the Seven of Pentacles, and this man, he's done a lot of hard work. He's been working hard, and as we all have, you know, we're all fucking pruning our bushes, we're raking the lawn, and I mean these metaphorically, maybe even, you know, maybe sarcastically, or maybe seriously too. But we, you know, we're attending to our home, we're attending to ourselves, we're doing the things that we need in order to look good, feel good, and be good. So with him, that's what this is doing. So 7, at least numerologically, 7's kind of a heavy number, at least on my intuition of it. It's, you know, you start at 1, and 1 is something brand new, something that we've never tried before. It's the very essence of starting something new, and the essence of where do you start anything. And so Pentacles are also determined by material well-being and more earth-centered things. So the 7, you know, as it goes from 1 to 10, and then the 10 is everything's so heavy, and either you've made it absolutely as far as you can, or you can be really weighed down by having come as far as you can, or as much as you have, whatever. So with the 7, to me, it just feels like a heavy number, but it's not. It's like you're over halfway. You're over halfway through whatever you got going on, and you're finally able, you can sit and take a rest. You know, he's sitting here and he has his hands over his rake, and he's like, you know what, man, I've been working really hard. It's okay for me to take a fucking breather. So we've been working hard, and I think the next card, these cards are interesting. I kind of struggle a little bit when I pull people cards, because, you know, they could be representations of yourself or myself, or they can be representations of, you know, other people in your life, or parts of yourself, basically. So with the King of Cups, there was a period of time a couple months ago where I was pulling him over and over and over, and this is the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, so for anyone that's interested. I'm kind of digging this lighting. It looks pretty cool. I like it with my dark hair. So the King of Cups, he is sitting on top of this, on his throne, and he's on top of an ocean, or on top of a cliff, maybe an Irish cliffside, who knows. And he is not affected by the raging waters behind him. He's calm, unaffected, yet still stands strong in his demeanor, and he knows, and he trusts himself, and he trusts, you know, he trusts what he knows. He trusts also his intuition. Anything dealing with cups is based around emotions and intuition and kind of psychic ability. So for him, he's an intuitive king. He doesn't necessarily have to experience things in order to understand them completely. Sometimes he can watch other people's experiences, and he can take knowledge and wisdom from that. Or he can also think, like, on a theoretical, hypothetical level, if this were to happen, I could understand what I would do with it. So with that being said, the Seven of Pentacles is all that kind of build up, all the tension that we have, that we've been things that we're working on. We're trying to build our life. We're trying to become better people. We're trying to keep our relationships. All of these things are coming to the point where we're allowed to feel on top of our game now. We're allowed to tell ourselves, you know, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what all that I've come through, and I'm glad, and I'm prepared for anything that comes forward at me moving forward. We can handle anything that comes at us emotionally. We can handle anything that comes at us financially, spiritually, mentally. You know, we got this, and we don't have to be affected by the seemingly raging waters around us. We're allowed to just know that we have the information and we have the resources to take on whatever comes next. So the Page of Pentacles, this is interesting. I think this might be my personal card. Being a Capricorn, I feel like every part of my life is ruled by these goat symbols, and I don't know what that means. But so being a page, she is the youngest of all the kind of the court cards, the people cards. There's the page, the knight, the king, and the queen, whereas the king represents, you know, having full authority and full dominion over everything below it and of everything involving that suit. And the page being someone that's just kind of recognizing, just starting, you know, you're young, you might be a little bit naive, you have all these ideas of, oh, you know, it's going to be like this, or it's going to be like this, and maybe sometimes you'll learn that you will be right, but in not all cases. And I think that just means that we're kind of at this new part of our lives where we're learning that we know the hard work that we've put in, and we know the hard work that we may continue to have to put in, and we know that we are capable of it. And then saying that we have full dominion over our emotions, and that sometimes we don't need to respond to things, or we can kind of anticipate the needs that are about to come, and knowing that we can use both of these material and emotional, intuitive dynamics to work with us. We have a lot of opportunity moving forward, and she's holding up this coin, and she's like, this is my first coin. It's my first coin. It means that I've made it. I'm finally an adult, or I'm finally made it to whatever you've been working up for. And we're allowed to kind of take a breather and recognize that we've grown as people. We're going to continue to grow as people, but up until this point, we've made a difference, and we're going to continue to make a difference. So, anyway, thanks, guys. I think that's all that I have to say.